Classic cartoons is everybody's childhood when they were younger, and they're still here in the modern generation. So, what happened? What happened to all the classic cartoons that been in everybody's childhood and was no longer seen on television, even cable television? In this video, we're going to find that out. We need to talk about the history and downfall of this programming block and channel, Boomerang. Before we need to talk about how it is right now, we need to go all the way back in the year 1992. In December 1992, Boomerang was officially launched as a programming block on the recently launched Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network was launched in October 1st, 1992. Boomerang was aimed at the generations who grew up with the good old classic Hanna-Barbera shows. Here are some of the shows that were on Boomerang, like The Jetsons, The Flintstones, Huckleberry Hound, Top Cat, Scooby-Doo, Magilla Gorilla, Secret Squirrel, as well as like Augie Doggy and Doggy Daddy. You name it, they aired it, and you know it. Boomerang stayed as a block on Cartoon Network. Time slots of the block have been rampant ever since throughout the 90s, from 1993 to 1998, and all the way until 2000. Boomerang stayed as a block on Cartoon Network, changing schedules throughout the 90s until 2000. Later on in 2000, Boomerang started doing a block of their sub-block called Classic Cartoon Years. It's a cartoon showcase, where the announcer would say, "It's 1976 on Boomerang from Cartoon Network." Later down Boomerang's run as a programming block on Cartoon Network, the block started doing a cartoon showcase, which a classic cartoon had aired ever since a year when it premiered and ended. And around that time, the block started implementing various toy bumpers, which are like the Hanna-Barbera characters as shaped toys, like pencil sharpeners, bumper cars, push puppets, and ramp walkers. That gave Boomerang its signature style, because it made perfect sense. It's like I'm looking at the Hanna-Barbera characters as toys during each bumper. However, unfortunately, around that time, Cartoon Network began making its own animated original programming, including early shows like Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken, Samurai Jack, and a few others. These cartoons, called cartoons, we already may know because, hello, there are really cartoons. The moniker, cartoons. All these cartoons started filling up the schedule of the Cartoon Network lineup, as well as some acquired programs like Tom and Jerry Kids, Tom and Jerry, What's New Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo Where Are You, A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, and so much more. This caused all the classic cartoons that were the intention for Cartoon Network to only air in small, limited quantities that time. So in 2000, Cartoon Network decided to create a 24-hour network solely based on classic cartoons. So they moved the Boomerang block to become its own official channel. So Boomerang has its own standalone channel on April Fool's Day, April 1st, 2000. Now that Boomerang was 24 hours a day, it has lots of the animated classics, and it pumped the animated classics into living rooms, and viewers may watch ad-free. Many iconic blocks came in, and it was a sleuth of original ideas. So Boomerang's brand new programming blocks in 2000 that they introduced were Boomeraction, one of the first blocks to air on Boomerang, and it's focused on action adventure cartoons like Thundar the Barbarian, the SWAT Cats, the Radical Squadron, the Pirates of Dark Water, Johnny Quest, so much more. Boomerandom, which will later on come in 2009 or 2008, the Boomerang Christmas Party, which every December each year they would air a collection of Hanna-Barbera Christmas specials like the Powerpuff Girls, Yogi's First Christmas, and Christmas Comes to Pac-Land, Casper's First Christmas, and the Jetsons' First Christmas, and the Flintstones' Christmas specials. Boomerang Zoo, a 1-hour block featuring the Hanna-Barbera and Warner Brothers television shorts starring animals like Yogi Bear, Huckleberry Hound, Adam Ant, Magilla Gorilla, Snagglepuss, Wally Gator, etc. Then there was Boomerang Feeder, a block that airs that movies that are from Warner Brothers Animation that aired ever since. And later they had Boomer Royalty. Boomer Royalty was a block what compared somehow simulated to Cartoon Network's Super Chunk block. This block airs a mini marathon of shows focused on a particular character that changes each month. So you might get Yogi Bear or Astro from the Jetsons, Huckleberry Hound, and a few other characters. It's pretty simulated to Super Chunk on Cartoon Network. Additionally, Boomerang brought back the Cartoon Network Groovies in between shows. It has very unique art styles like pilots and such. There are various music videos like Jabberjaw music videos. Pretty much the great groovies I ever seen in my opinion. Then there was Scoobarang, which airs various Scooby-Doo ever made. It shows like A Pup Named Scooby-Doo and movies like Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island and Scooby-Doo Where Are You? It's like a Scooby-Doo marathon. That's why it was October and there's Scoobarang marathon. It was a Scooby-Doo marathon. Boomerang as a programming block continued on from 2000 to 2004. The Boomerang block concluded on Cartoon Network in October 3rd, 2004. After that, Boomerang officially has its own standalone channel. It was later been replaced by a few shows that were in the Boomerang block's place. Later on, during the 2000s, Boomerang was still good. However, Jim Samples stepped down and Stuart Snyder stepped in, he gave us Boomerandom and Those Meddling Kids. Boomerandom is this block that airs each weekend, airing from 8 to 10 p.m. from 2008 to 2010, featuring 2 hours of episodes of a single program. The selected programs were picked by the Boomerandom Drawing Machine. And then Those Meddling Kids. Those Meddling Kids is a 90-minute block featuring series produced by Hanna-Barbera or Ruby Spheres, which are featuring mystery-solving teenagers or young adults. These mystery shows were Scooby-Doo, Josie and the Pussycats, Fang Face, Club or Clue Club, and Speed Buggy. Pretty cool, I think. And then in 2005 to 2006 or 2004, there was Hanna-Barbera's Cartoon Corral, which it was a whole marathon of each classic cartoon, like Loopy De Loop, Yogi Bear, as well as Wally Gator, Secret Squirrel or Snooper and Blabber and Quick Draw McGraw. And I have to say, Hanna-Barbera's Cartoon Corral was very crazy. So crazy. Now anyway, Boomerang stayed this way from 2000 to 2015, but the same voiceover announcing, "This is Boomerang from Cartoon Network. It's all coming back to you," with many of the same bumpers and many of the same series. Until 2010. Until the late and early 2010s. Around that time, Cartoon Network had a resurgence, featuring a brand new logo, including a brand new basic shape called Check It. The first Check It era was Check It 1.0 and 2.0, which will later become 3.0 and 4.0 and 4.5, aka Dimensional. With brand new popular shows like Adventure Time, Regular Show, soon after that, The Amazing Little Gumball, and then Steven Universe, they helped set up Cartoon Network for the future to bring in a teenage audience in. Boomerang was beginning to struggle during the time, since viewers were dropping and weren't watching the channel anymore. Boomerang's ratings were going down in a free fall. The old formula wasn't even working at all. It made sense. Also, for the most part, Boomerang is officially on autopilot. It was on autopilot ever since its launch in 2000, and it's pretty understandable. The channel's been on autopilot ever since. Yeah, autopilot channels, it's pretty cliche, meaning that I can't believe this. Why is it air 4 hours of the same old shows every day? Yeah, it made sense. It's on autopilot. Autopilot, really. Boomerang started inserting newer Cartoon Network shows that were still airing on Cartoon Network, like Ben 10 Omniverse, later on Teen Titans Go and The Amazing Little Gumball, and later Young Justice and Johnny Test during the daytime and the nighttime, leaving the older classic cartoons to only air extremely early in the freaking morning, where everybody who remembers watching these shows when they were younger would be all asleep. Bad idea. Around the 2010s, Boomerang started inserting shows that had been retired from Cartoon Network, like Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo, Samurai Jack, Ben 10, Teen Titans, and many more. Basically, Boomerang began being the old folks' home for Cartoon Network shows. So they added Teen Titans, Samurai Jack, The Secret Saturdays, Ben 10 2005, and Ben 10 Omniverse. Though some of the action cartoons that had been retired and ended on Boomerang had moved to Boomeraction. Ben 10 2005, Secret Saturdays, and Ben 10 Omniverse, and Teen Titans, they were all action-oriented, causing Boomeraction to have a good interest with action-adventure programming. And from 2005 to 2014, there was a Captain Planet Earth Day marathon featuring Captain Planet and the Planeteers. It only aired until 2014 as well. And there was a Halloween block. Yeah, just Halloween block. That block aired during the month of October since 2011, 2012, and 2013. Because it airs Scooby-Doo, Casper, The Addams Family, and the Addams Family live action version. I don't know what happened to that. Then there's Beetlejuice, The Funky Phantom, Goober and the Ghost Chasers, and The Munsters. The block didn't get revived in 2014. That was when the channel began to change focus. By until the middle of the decade in the 2010s, the channel's ratings were down 50% from 2009. It wasn't that people were leaving cable, it's that fewer and fewer people were watching. And Boomerang was incredibly overshadowed by Cartoon Network's new shows like Steven Universe, Adventure Time, etc., and streaming services such as Netflix, Hulu, etc. That and Stuart Snyder was fired around that time in March 2014. Then something happened that would change Boomerang forever. In February 2014, as part of Turner Broadcasting's yearly upfront, they announced that Boomerang would become advertising supported, seeking additional international distribution into overall new look for the channel for good. So, in October 2014, Cartoon Network unveiled a global rebranding of Boomerang, which first launched in Latin America in late September and arrived soon later in the US. So, alongside the previously announced plan to introduce advertising, the network planned to introduce its own original programming for the first time and place a particular focus on the archive's most well-known franchises, which are for a family-friendly approach. And Turner executives described that the changes is going to be an effort to grow Boomerang into a second flagship channel on par with the main Cartoon Network channel, with many family-friendly oriented series. Many companies' international channels received the relaunch early. The Latin American Boomerang, that time it was a channel meant for young teenagers, received the rebrand along with the internationals in the Europe and the Middle East. Boomerang in the US was kept in the same style for a little while longer in 2014 until January 19th, 2015. When all the shows from Boomerang, along with the bumpers that were simplistic, like the toy bumpers, were wiped out completely. The new redesign featured a brand new logo with a basic neon shape, similar to Cartoon Network's Check It 3.0 brand at the time. And Boomerang started beginning to make and created its own original programming. They got early shows like Benicula, the new Looney Tunes, aka Wabbit, Be Cool Scooby-Doo, Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, and Wacky Races. And not only that, everybody is saying that Boomerang went from the place where all these Hanna-Barbera cartoons would come back to basically a Cartoon Network 2.0. And not only that Boomerang became a Cartoon Network 2.0, that Boomerang is taking content and making it as Boomerang originals. That doesn't make any sense. That's crazy. And not only that, they got rid of everything. That they got rid of every classic cartoon that they took off of Boomerang. Christina Miller would be the one to blame, since she took over in 2014. Basically, for some people, Christina Miller has been accredited to destroying Boomerang by removing all the older shows that Boomerang used to air, making it into a streaming service, leaving the channel into a wasteland that is a Cartoon Network 2. Or Cartoon Network Junior. Nowadays, is just for kids. We already know, cartoons are not always for kids. It's always for everybody. But nowadays, it's just for kids. Some Cartoon Network shows from 2010 started to pour in, such as Adventure Time and Regular Show around that time. Probably Steven Universe as well, and Mighty Magiswords. Along with reruns of Teen Titans Go, which that made Boomerang jump the shark, and The Amazing World of Gumball, and a few others. The library of content, which are the classic cartoons that Boomerang offered, was completely gone. But the return of the franchises, but the most popular franchises that did return, such as Tom and Jerry and Scooby-Doo, they returned, which flooded the daytime schedule, alongside the Garfield show, which already ended, but it came back with brand new episodes and a new season. Many The two classic cartoons like the Smurfs or the Flintstones were only reserved for early hours in the morning. I forgot about Looney Tunes as well. Looney Tunes is also a popular franchise as well. Not only Boomerang has basically become a Cartoon Network too, they actually got a block that is prior to kickstart the rebrand, like the Martin King Jr. Day. This block was called Martin Luther King Jr. Day, in observance of the MLK Day. Boomerang aired various episodes from the Garfield Show, and it was part of the network's first day of rebranding. Then there was another block, such as weeknights at 8:30, Boomerang primetime flopped premiere block, which the block sucked, and thank God it only got canceled in 2016. And then there was Pet of the Week, which everybody had said it sucked or it rocks, but it only lasted it for only 1 year prior, like that. The only running current Boomerang programming block that is still going on is Boomerang Theater, Boomerang's movie showcase block. Boomerang has essentially became a hollow shell of what it became and what it become. Boomerang was the hub of classic cartoons, which was Cartoon Network's intention. Boomerang doesn't even feel real anymore. Its schedule was very repetitive, with some kind of a stage-safe programming, but some lacking of classic cartoons filling up the schedule. What's the point of watching Boomerang anymore? What's the even point of calling the network Boomerang anymore? It's basically a Cartoon Network 2.0, or should I say, a Cartoon Network 2.0. Their original slogan was Boomerang from Cartoon Network. It's all coming back to you. Seriously, it's not all coming back to us anymore. Yeah. Do you know what's more Boomerang than Boomerang today? In fact, there was a sister channel to Boomerang called Tooncast. That's right, Tooncast. It's basically Boomerang, a blend of old and new cartoons. You would get Symbionic Titan, Top Cat, Scooby-Doo, and a few others like Penelope Pitstop, or The Perils of Penelope Pitstop, and a few more. It's just epitome of variety. And then we got another Boomerang, almost an improved Boomerang in the US. We got MeTV. We got Saturday morning cartoons on MeTV, and we got a cartoon block in the weekday morning hour on MeTV called Tune In With Me. You know, it's like a cartoon in with me. Yeah, you get the point. However, in October 2020, when Tom Aschheim, it was his first time being at the Warner Brothers Global Kids Young Adults position. It was his first day of general manager of Cartoon Network, Boomerang, and Adult Swim. He started making special events for Boomerang, like Scootober, the Boomerang Family Feast, and A Very Merry Jerry. Tom Aschheim's plan, bringing in Boomerang Family Feast, was the kickstart of the Thanksgiving weekend. Launching during the Thanksgiving weekend 2020, it featured The Yogi Bear Show, Magilla Gorilla, Huckleberry Hound, Popeye the Sailor Man, Jetsons, and the Flintstones. The Thanksgiving block compiled classic Hanna-Barbera cartoons that haven't seen daytime or primetime Boomerang programming time slots in years. That's right, they hadn't been seen in years. And then we had A Very Merry Jerry, a December block, airing from 4 to 9 p.m., featuring various installments of the Tom and Jerry franchise, as well as specials from Boomerang's library airing at 7 p.m. nightly, airing a direct-to-video Tom and Jerry films only. Yeah, Christmas. Can't believe it. they even aired classic cartoon Christmas movies during that time. Yeah. And then later in 2021, everything started to die down for Boomerang. The Boomerang we have today is the Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, and the Scooby-Doo network. So we came into a full circle, and Boomerang's brand new 2021 months that the channel received and became a shell of what it became now. It didn't resemble what it used to be. However, there was some decent programming on their channel lineup, like A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, but their branding and their scheduling feels completely been stupid and completely been redundant. We need more. We need more. We need more iconic blocks and special events. We'll have to see what Tom Ashheim has to say about this. When the criticism will find out eventually. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about Boomerang? Do you think it should rebrand into a brand new look? Do you think this president Tom Ashheim, who used to be general manager and employee at Noggin, should try and rebrand Boomerang and find out on his yearly upfront or something like that? Thank you guys for watching, and as always, stay tuned.